Hey there, everybody. Dr. Christina Campbell here. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about something that's been heavy on my heart of late. And I wanted to share with you my thoughts on closeness. We humans are used to living together in large numbers. We are herd animals, much like dogs, much like cats. We like to live together, be close to one another, support each other. It is part of our DNA, if you will. And it is a part of our emotional support system, and our body needs that. Our emotions need that, our brains need that, our hearts need that. And one of the things that I've noticed, and actually was around before COVID hit, was that we were really touch deprived. Um, we as humans have we're in a technology age, and we are not as close, and we don't get as many hugs or touches or contact with other humans, with other people, as often as we really need. And this impacts our mental health. This impacts our stress levels. This impacts our blood pressure, our heart rates, our cortisol levels, our adrenal fatigue. All of these things, there are really amazing research studies out there that show that these things are all improved when we have a hug, when we are hugged. A hug that lasts over 20 seconds can literally decrease your blood pressure and decrease your heart rate in that moment, and consistently through the day after the hug. You know, this virus and this situation has been so stressful and so difficult for so many on so many levels, and everyone has a different experience coming into this conversation that we're having here about it. One of the things that I've noticed, though, recently has really hit me is how fearful people are now. Not only are we touch deprived as we were before COVID, but now we're afraid to touch. People are afraid to open a door and hold it for someone because you might get too close as you walk through the door. People are afraid to shake hands when they meet someone. They're afraid to hug friends and family. They're afraid to hug and to hold hands, and all of the things that we have used as humans to comfort one another and to help each other cope with stress and hard times and difficulties. And now we're afraid to do it. And it breaks my heart because we shouldn't be afraid of one another. And it is impacting our health, not having that contact with one another, not having that support with one another. And I, there was a very smart family therapist, and I believe her name was Virginia Satir, who said once, we need 4 hugs a day for survival. We need 8 hugs a day for maintenance, and we need at least 12 hugs a day for growth. And, it was a really clever statement, and it was based on some really important research that had been done on touch and hugging, and length of time hugging, and what that could do for our biophysiology and our blood pressure and heart rate and other physiologic factors like our cortisol levels and stress levels, and our degree of happiness. And we deserve, as humans, we deserve as people to be happy and to be comforted. And I want to suggest that we start to begin hugging and helping and comforting each other again. I am not suggesting that you go and out of your way to hug someone who may be ill or may be sick. I am not suggesting that you should put yourself at risk of getting sick. I am suggesting having some common sense around hand washing and prevention, but also having the compassion and the ability and the lack of fear of human touch. And if that means that you're choosing who you hug and support and comfort, and they're in your family circle, then wonderful, because you're living together. And when you go to a restaurant, you sit together, and you don't have to have masks around each other because you're around each other all the time, unless one of you is actively ill. I'm suggesting that we start to focus on not being afraid of one another again. You know, it is really, important that we remain human. And one of our greatest qualities as humans is taking care of one another, supporting one another, holding one another, caring for one another. And we need to remember that even as we go through this pandemic, even as we move forward through this political and social environment that we are in right now. We cannot forget who we are, and we cannot forget the needs of those around us. So I hope that I have shared this in a way that makes you just stop and think for a minute. The next time you are at a grocery store and you have the ability to open a door for someone, consider doing it. Consider the fear that you're feeling when you're near someone and how unhealthy that is for you, as well as for the other person who will feel your fear as well. Consider that living in fear is not healthy or productive for anyone. It never has been, and it never will be. And this doesn't mean that we don't have common sense, and this doesn't mean that we don't take care of each other or ourselves. This doesn't mean that we are unreasonable, but we need to remember who we are. And I hope this message touches your heart. I hope that you understand why I'm sharing this. It really is something that has deeply touched me, and particularly recently after a specific encounter with a friend who holds a lot of fear, and I want to make sure that this isn't something that other people are suffering with, and that we are beginning to deal with and cope with these emotions that we did not used to have, that now we have, and they're unhealthy for us. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hug someone close to you today. Hold on for 20 seconds or more. And if you have the ability, do it 5, 8, 12 times a day. Increase the amount of hugging that you're doing. Have a great day.